I'm Michelle Carter, and I'm the owner of MCB Nurse Consultant. We're at MCB Nurse Consultant, we help directors and nurses in long-term care to overcome the exhaustion and frustration of having to do it all. We teach them leadership development by utilizing personality science and emotional intelligence. So they'll be able to have better professional, personal, and clinical outcomes. We help them learn how to retain staff, recruit staff, engage more with their staff, and be able to build strong teams so they can have better patient satisfaction for their facilities. Today, I want to talk to you about leading with purpose and humility as a director of nursing in this holiday season. But before we get started, if you don't mind taking a moment to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, MCB Nurse Consultant. It's 2024, and within 2 days, we were going to be at our Christmas for 2024. And this is a time that for you to spend time with your families as much as you want your team members to spend time with their families, and you want your residents to be able to spend time with their families. It could be a busy season, and we can all be overwhelmed. But you want to sit back and look at what we did up until this time for the whole year. Did we lead with purpose as being a director of nurses? Were we humble in our positions? A lot of times we get in our positions as directors of nurses, and we get so overwhelmed with our daily tasks that we forget that humility with our team members and with our residents and our families. Our jobs are not easy. They can be very, very overwhelming. And I totally understand. I've been doing this. I've been being a director of nursing for over 17 years. Well, 18 years next year. So I totally understand how overwhelmed my directors of nurses can be, because I have been in that situation. But there are times when we have to sit back and remember where we started from and where we're going and how we got to where we're at today. And did we lead with purpose for our team? Did we show them how to be humble? Did we show them how to be resilient? Did we show them how to be strong? And did we show them how to be also vulnerable and okay to ask for help? Were we able to be helpful to them? And do they feel comfortable being helpful for us? It can be so many things that we go through each and every day being a director of nursing, dealing with staffing challenges, dealing with regulatory compliance, dealing with keeping our residents safe, dealing with infection control matters. There's so many things that go on in our daily day that sometimes we don't realize how we're leading. And are we leading with purpose? I have been in that situation. There was times that I was just in a crisis mode constantly, and I was leading in crisis instead of leading with purpose. And I had to step back and learn how to lead with purpose. I had to step back and look and humble myself as a director of nursing so I could be a better leader. How did I do that? Well, I did that by learning how to tap into my emotional intelligence. I learned about personality science, which helped me to understand who I am and why I think the way I do and why I act the way I do. And it helped me to understand how to communicate with my team better. And it helped me with self-awareness, self-reflection, and also with my self-motivation. And once I was able to learn that, I was able to learn how to lead with purpose. And leading with purpose is being able to connect with your team, lead them lead with integrity, and being able to be transparent with your team, being able to be a servant leader to your team, and also being able to be open for them to come to you and feel safe to come to you and be able to give ideas that y'all can bounce off of each other. Now, being humble, sometimes people look at it that you're being vulnerable or you're being weak. Being humble doesn't mean that you're being weak. I think a humble person is a strong person because they remember where they're at and where they started from, and they appreciate the steps that they've taken. We have to learn to do that as leaders. We are going to have times where where we're going to be overwhelmed. And there are going to be times that or things are just not the way we want them to truly be. And there's going to be times where we can just try, well, there's going to be times where we can be able to help each other and help each other as colleagues, help each other as the leaders, and help our team and have our team help us. But you have to be humble to accept the help. When you look at humble leaders, who comes to mind? One of the people that comes to mind is a great leader that might have been a humble person and has nothing to do with nursing, was Martin Luther King. Another humble leader was Mahatma Gandhi. Those were leaders who were humble and they led with purpose. Do you want to be that type of leader for your team? Now, the things that they were dealing with are totally different than what we're dealing with, because we are dealing as they were dealing with individuals and fighting for the rights of individuals and upstanding for human rights. We're doing it, but we're doing it in a different way, where we are so regulated compared to fighting for rights outside of a regulated system. But you want to be able to fight for the rights for your team members. You want to be able to fight for the rights of your residents. But you also want them to have respect for you, and you want them to feel comfortable talking to you. Today, when I was in church today, they were talking about humility. And that's what made me want to talk to my directors and nurses about humility, about being humble. And remember where we started from. For me, I started in nursing as a CNA. And I remember those days when I was a CNA, and I would never in a million years think I was going to be a director of nursing. And I would never in a million years think I would be a nurse entrepreneur, helping and coaching and mentoring directors and nurses, using personality science and education to be able to help them to go to another level. But you never know where you started from, where you're going to end up. We all ended up in this position as directors and nurses for a reason. There was somebody who saw something special in us. There was a higher power that led us to this position. But while we're in this position, we have gotten overwhelmed with different tasks. Some of us have gotten to the point, because we are making more money, that we have gotten a little big-headed. And I'm not going to say that it's okay and to say it's a bad thing, but it does happen. But you want to remember, without your team, we could not function. So we want to humble ourselves as leaders so we can be able to relate to our team members. And we want our team members to be able to relate to us. Leading with purpose is so, so, so important. And there's a lot of times when we're put in these positions, we truly don't know what our purpose is. It took me a long time to realize what my true purpose was, to be able to help my team members and to be able to see them go to the next level. You want to be able to help your team members grow. You want to be able to help your team members grow and be inspiring to them. You know, it makes me feel extremely great when I see a CNA who wants advice from me about nursing school, or I have a nurse who wants me asked me to be a preceptor for them for their programs, or I have a team member who's striving to learn more and applies for a promotion for another job within our organization or within our facility to advance themselves. Those things are very, very important to me, and it gives me purpose that, Michelle, you are doing what you need to do to give back to your team, to grow your team. And I want you to be a leader like that. I want you to be able to grow your team. But in order to grow your team, you have to know your team. And that's where, when I learned the personality science and learned the bank methodology, it helped me even more to be able to connect with my team more than I did prior. But even not connecting with my team, it helped me connect with myself. Because once we connect with ourselves and understand our purpose, and then we humble ourselves in our positions, that the door will open for us for better opportunities and better connections with our team. And once we're connected with our team, we're going to be able to see better outcomes. Because at the end of the day, our ultimate goal is to have quality outcomes for our residents. It's not to have a perfect survey every single year, because things are going to happen. You're not going to have a perfect survey every single year. But remember, you are going to still be able to keep your residents safe. You're still going to be able to have good outcomes for your residents in quality measures, and also for your residents, and just to see a smile on their face, be able to see the connection with their family members. Those are the quality measures. Those are quality measures that aren't graded by our Department of State and through Department of Health. Those are things that are regulated through us as being nurses, as being compassionate, of being caring and leading with purpose. Seeing that team member taking that extra time to spend with a resident, seeing that team member to go out of their way to make sure this resident is getting the things that they need. That is leading with purpose. Those are the outcomes that will make you understand that you have changed the culture in your buildings. And that starts with knowing your team members, knowing how to connect with them, knowing how to communicate with them, and how you can have better relationships and connections with them. It's going to be Christmas within 2 days, and we're going into 2025. And we want to be able to lead with purpose in 25. We want to be able to be humble and look at 24 and what things have we accomplished, and what things that we can pat ourselves on the back for, and what things we want to strive for 25. I hope this is helping you to learn to be humble with your team, to lead with purpose, and be able to have the great outcomes that you desire in your facility. I want you to be able to have a wonderful Christmas, spend time with your family. Hopefully that you don't have to be in the buildings, but if you do, spend time with your team members. Me personally, I will be on call on Christmas, so I may be in the building, but if I do have to work Christmas, I'm going to spend time with my team members. I'm going to enjoy the residents that I'm working with, and I'm going to be able to enjoy the family members that come in. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, MCB Nurse Consultant. And I want to thank you for being a supporter for MCB in 2024. And I can't wait to see what 25 has for MCB and for you as directors and nurses. There's going to be a lot of changes in healthcare as we move into 2025. And I want to be there to be able to help you, guide you, and mentor you to overcome those changes so you can have the great outcomes that you need. Have a wonderful holiday season, and I'll talk to you soon.